Today we continue with our class Kosher Kitchen, and we start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. And now big topic is the same Lashon Hara, laws of derogatory speech. And today's topic is the listener. Once something is defined as derogatory, it is forbidden to relate to others, to relate it other than for constructive purposes, under specific conditions which will be discussed later. So if it's derogatory speech, only if it's for a constructive purpose, meaning that you want to warn other person, right, of some danger or some scam or something, or to prevent from wrong business partnership or something. That would be for constructive purpose. One may not share negative information about people with friends and family, including one's spouse. Right, so some people think that spouse, okay, it's part of yourself. It is true. On one hand, on another hand, all of the laws of Lashon Hara apply, as we learn, even to children. Right, speaking about to another spouse about a child, if it's for constructive purpose, and that would be allowed. But otherwise, it's not. It must be understood that related Lashon Hara to one's spouse is no less forbidden than related to anyone else. To focus on another shortcoming is undignified and wrong. Right? So, especially as we said about other person shortcomings, as we say, as we have some clowns like on our YouTube channel, they comment. So I told them, if you saw such a knowledgeable person, maybe you want to help us with our work. We have a lot of work. I can give you some assignment. Nobody ever replied. Very interesting. Okay. So same is here. If you want to help, somebody, if you see person's shortcomings and you want to help, so help, but in a proper way, without humiliating him or her. Okay, so let's go. We're on chapter 1, right? And non-kosher foods. And just to remind what we said last time, so let me maybe read this piece, because it's it's in a special gray box, very important, and for people who follow us, it's page 58. Okay, so it says some may take rabbinic prohibition lightly. They might feel that one can pick and choose which rabbinic ordinances to follow and which one to ignore. So that's especially people who just start or who thinks of themselves as some intellectual. So they say, "Oh, but tell me, is it rabbinic or biblical?" I say, "What's the difference? What's the difference?" So people decide, try to rationalize what they can keep, what they cannot. Right? This is a grave mistake. Right? In fact, the opposite is true. We find that Chazal were often stricter with regard to the rabbinic ordinances than the Torah laws. So that's right, because why? The simple explanation that rabbis build the fences, and if you say that fences is nothing, so you have to be stopped right there. Right? The Talmud says, in Brachas 4b, and we have to look up the source, of course. Whoever transgresses the words of the sages is liable to death. No more, no less. Right? Liable to death. Conversely, the Talmud states, whoever fulfills the directive of the sages is considered holy. Right? Opposite is true also. Right? If you can do whatever rabbis say, right, you're considered holy. Rabbi Yonah explained that one who transgresses the Torah law does so because he was overwhelmed with the Eitz Hara. Okay, Torah law. However, one who transgresses the rabbinic law often does so because he takes the word lightly, not because of the inability to withstand the Eitz Hara. So when Eitz Hara, we said in many other classes, so we still this part is this person is part of our nation, Amitecha, right? Still, right? We judge him favorably. Maybe in this area he fails, but the others he's not failing, right? But because he succumbed to the temptation of Eitz Hara. But here there is no temptation. So when one transgresses rabbinical laws, it's because he said it's not important. or I know better. So people try to decide. Some person asked me like a question. I'm not from this group, so he asked me like such a like question. So I asked him like, ask me like final question. I understand he tried to ask me about like some intermediate questions, and based I figured, right, based on my answer, he would derive halacha instead of asking straightforward question. That's also too much. Right? In many instances, Chazal was stricter with regard to rabbinic ordinances than the Torah prohibitions. One may be lenient with regard to rabbinic ordinances only in those situations where Chazal specifically allowed us to be lenient. So Chazal said you cannot do this, this, and that, and they also said under certain circumstances you can do certain things. Okay, so now we're going to do the summary of section 1. And this topic is types of prohibited foods. Prohibited foods are divided in two general categories. Number 1, prohibition of the Torah origin. This can be subdivided into two groups. So group 1, type 1 is Torah origin. Okay, into two groups. Number 1, a primary prohibitions such as non-kosher animals, fowl, and fish. Right, so we spoke about it. Right, non-kosher animals, fowl and fish, that's always forbidden. Nivela, carrion, meaning a dead animal. So, right, treifa, a mortally injured animal. And we said also treifa is an animal that was sick when they did kosher shchita, and then they checked lungs and other digestive system, other organs, and they found that there's some kind of blemish that this animal would not survive a year, so that becomes treifa. So again, it was a kosher shchita, everything was kosher until they did the checking inside. Okay, sherets, so we spoke about it. Swarming insects and rodents, and we spoke about the foods, how we have to check different kind of foods for these insects, very important. Blood, right, is we said how to get rid of the blood in the meat, and we explained in olden days that's how you will buy. You go to the butcher, so he probably had a sheet on specific days, I guess on Thursday or Friday, no, not on Friday, no, probably on Thursday, right, and people would come by and buy meat, so it was fresh meat. He would not do, these butchers, they would not do whatever we do now, whatever we get in the supermarket today, like meat, nice and a kosher, and without blood. It's all like clean, pristine, and beautiful, right? So no, it was all bloody or like as it is. So, and it was people's obligation to actually take care of the meat and rinse it and salt it, rinse again, wash all these things. Okay. Halach. So we spoke about halach. Halach is a forbidden fat, like some like internal fat around the organs. They always forbidden from kosher animals. Git hanasheh. So git hanasheh, we said the sciatic nerve, and that's why we don't eat the rear part of the animal, only the front part, right? So so even though it's in one leg, but we say okay, both legs, right? Next one we say ever minachai. Ever minachai, we said it's limb from a living animal, right? People eat like once Rabbi Mizrahi Shlita, he said about people eat mice alive. I say, okay, maybe not alive, Rabbi, maybe not alive, maybe it's cooked, maybe this. No. And I went to YouTube, and if you want to get disgusted, you should do the same, right? And people in China and other Asian countries, that's what they do. They eat mouse alive, and they film it like it's on a plate, and they take it with the chopsticks, and that's what they eat. Okay. Next one, tevel. Tevel, produce from which the ties were not removed. So as we said that the produce, certain produce in Eretz Israel, right? You have to remove all of the priestly gifts, right? You have to remove 2% for a coin, approximately 2%, then 10% from Levi, and then Truma Rishon, Truma Sheni, meaning the one once you would, when we had temple standing, you would give to poor people, other part you would take to Yerushalayim and stuff like that. So you have to, but today, even though the temple is not there, we still must remove some things, right, from this temple, from this produce. Okay, so we have to be careful today when you live in exile to eat the produce that was brought in from Israel. That's a problem. Usually, nothing was removed. Usually, it's a produce of kibbutzniks, these anti-religious people. Usually, but not always. Okay. Next one, orla, fruits of the tree in the first 3 years. So we said when we have a fruit, we have a fruit tree. So even though some say even if you replant it, right? So you had it in this place and it was blocking your view, whatever. So you decided to replant. So even after you replant to another place, you have to wait 3 years and you cannot eat the fruits. Okay, but in a simple application, when you plant the tree, 3 years you cannot eat fruits, and Torah says on the 4th year you have to bring to Yerushalayim and rejoice in Yerushalayim, eat there. Okay. Next one, we discuss Hadash, new grain. So we said the grain that took root after the 16th of Nisan, and 16th of Nisan coming soon, like in a few months, I guess, right? Less than 2 months already. So this is considered to be new grain, and you're not allowed to eat new grain until the next year, right? And the next year, so when we had temple, we would bring this offering of the new grain on the second day of Pesach, right? Holiday of Pesach, and after that you would be able to use to eat all of the grains. Okay. So today we said there are 2 doubts. First doubt, whether it's applied in exile. Second doubt, if it's new grain or old grain. So since it's 2 doubts, you allowed to eat this grain, like this flour, this products from flour. But if we also said if person wants to be stringent, so they're always in the Jewish supermarkets for sure, cookies and everything, especially in pizzeria, like in the kosher pizzeria, they're all going with old grain. I mean, it's not such a big deal, right? To gain, but on many packages, if you like for Jewish manufacturer, they actually have a stamp that it's from old grain. You want to go stringent and you want to do it, no problem. Is it absolutely obligation? Absolutely not. Okay, so then we discuss yain nesach. So yain nesach, it's wine of libation. Libation meaning what? For libation for avodah zarah, right? For idol worship. Of who? Non-Jews. So these non-Jews, and we suspect that all of them, so at least in the olden days, they all idol worshippers. They were all idol worshippers, and they would use this wine for libation for the idol. So today, and even if they touch just my wine, let's say it's not cooked, so it is a problem for me. Maybe he meant to use for his libation of idols, so I cannot drink it, and basically we have to spill it, and we actually said that same halachah applies to Jews who does not keep Shabbos, right? Like Apikoros, who does not keep Shabbos, so he's considered to be one of these as a non-Jews of the worst kind. So some non-Jews are very good people. I have friends, non-Jews, wonderful individuals. I do business with them. I mean, not on daily basis. I mean, honest, very, very honest. Baruch HaShem, very nice people. But this Jew, right? The Jew born from a Jewish mother, but he is considered as Apikoros. And if he touched my wine, so I have to spill the wine to the toilet, right? Why? Because he touched it. But it only concerns wine that is not cooked, not mevushal. So as we said, you have to check when you buy wine. So if you have non-juice in your house, or somebody can touch, somebody not shomer Shabbos, so don't buy this non-cooked wine. Only buy mevushal wine. So first of all wine must be bear the kosher stamp, and buy mevushal wine, and you saved. Because it's on another hand, as we explained, it's like why you okay? Because this idol worshiper would not use this wine, cooked wine, as libation for their idol, meaning that it's inferior. So okay, it's inferior, but if you have no choice, that's what you must use, not to put yourself in a questionable situation. In second type, it's prohibition combined, such as basar v'chalav. So now all of the things are forbidden, period, right? But now the second type is a basar v'chalav. Basar is a meat, v'chalav is a milk, right? Combination, milk 100% kosher, let's say that's specific milk. Meat 100% kosher, but combination is not kosher, right? Combination is not kosher if they cook together, and as we explained. And the next prohibition that we discussed, right? So meaning when two separate entities, they're okay. When they're separate, that the mixture is not good. So we say kilei hakerem. So kilei hakerem, we said that vegetables that was sown in a vineyard, right? You have a vineyard. You say, why would this place go to waste? There's so much sun. I have to water anyway, or it's like underground water, like always rain, whatever the situation is. So it would be forbidden completely. These vegetables that grow and what is it, and the grapes. Okay. So that's what we said for type 1. Any questions whatsoever on the type 1? On any type? Okay, then continue. So I will have more time for a question later. So type number 2, foods prohibited by Rabbinic injunction. This can be divided into groups. Those based on a Torah verse, such as Rabbinic in intentions, to prohibition of basar v'chalav, right? So not to come closer, right? Gid hanasheh kilaim, yain nesach, and the prohibition of halaf akum. So all of this we explained. The only one we did not explain yet is halaf akum. So halaf akum is and givias akum. Halaf akum is a milk that was milked by a non-Jew, right? And the second was the cheese that produced by a non-Jew. So what is the problem? So milk that was milked by a non-Jew. We said, especially in olden days, so we concerned that they would put some other milk of non-kosher animals in there. So and in Europe, for example, it was very popular to add horse milk, right? What is horse milk? What is it? It was very fat, right? Like a high percentage of fat, and it would be used for a preservative. So it's like especially in olden days, they did not know about cholesterol and all of these beautiful things that we are aware very much today of, right? So this for them, whatever, if it's fatty, it's good. If somebody is like chubby, right? It is a statement of status that they can afford food, because many people were barely surviving, right? So if somebody fat, like they're rich. Okay, continue. And the cheese, I apologize. And then cheese, what's the problem with cheese? So we said that to produce cheese, you need this enzyme, right? That start the curdling of the cheese, and it could be taken from fruits. I think from figs, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe, or I think from figs or dates, one of them. Or it could be, the best is from from the animal stomach, like some certain piece from animal stomach. And even though it was from kosher animal, it was from the cow, but this cow is a nevilah, right? Nevilah meaning they kill it their own way, non-Jews. So it is like at the outset it would be forbidden. And in our case, even if we take the same part of the animal, right, to produce cheese, so it's since it was kosher to begin with, and it's not exactly cooking, so that's how rabbis allowed it. So that's why this non-kosher cheese never allowed. Never allowed, but milk is there is some leniency about the milk. Why? Especially in the States when there is a government supervision, so they're not going to mix it any like milk from other animals. They put so many preservative chemicals that are kosher, that's good enough. They don't have to risk their reputations. Okay. And just so we know about this cheeses, there is such as cheeses on the market, just so you know. So it's companies, that's what I saw in BJ's, right? It's OKD, so it's letter K in a circle, it's okay, right? And D means dairy, and on the bottom it says Halav Akum. So even though the cheese is kosher, the last stage of the cheese is kosher, but it was produced from the milk that was not supervised by a Jew. Very interesting combination. Okay, so continue. Continue. Number 2. Those not based on Torah verse. So we're talking about this rabbinic injunction. Those not based on Torah verse, such as bishul and pas akum. Okay, foods cooked and baked by a non-Jew. So pas akum, it's bread baked by a non-Jew. Okay, and foods cooked by a non-Jew. Stam yain, wine of non-Jew. Right, and foods considered by Chazal to be dangerous. So we list these foods because of some reasons. Our sages say they're dangerous. Okay, so that's all for summary. So I love this book. This person is very organized. I'm not sure he's still alive. Hopefully he is, and very organized. So he gives summary. He gives A, B, C, D. Like it. Okay. So part number 2.
Rabbi, can I ask a question?
Yes, please. So I almost gave up. I asked if anybody nobody have question. Almost gave up. Go ahead, please.
About the bread, you said that Pas Israel is made by Jews, right? 100%. What about they sell the bread that says OU? But it's not Pas Israel. Is this allowed to eat? Or
yes, yeah. It's allowed to. Yeah. Okay. So to answer your question, we have to step back a little and see what Shulchan Aruch says in introduction to this laws, right? And Shulchan Aruch said that all of the Pas Israel and all of the foods are cooked by non-Jews. They were introduced by our rabbis. Why? Right? So in these great people, great minds, in their vision, they say if we allow to eat the bread from my neighbor, right, Jewish neighbor, not Jewish neighbor, guess what? They're going to get intermarried. That's how intermarriage starts, right? Today people meet each other on the street, right? But in olden days, so they would come together, family come to one family, and of course, men would not speak to the strange women, women would not speak to the strange men on the street. Right, but they would come together. Family, please come. We have celebration. We have our Christine gave birth to little Chris, so please come over and we're going to celebrate. We're your Jewish neighbor. We respect you very much. You're religious. All of these compliments, and you come. You eat this bread, and guess what? That's how intermarriage starts. So he said, actually, I have a younger daughter, And your son, your Yossi, unbelievable character. Unbelievable. They don't make today like this, like you, Yossi. So why don't you, Yossi, marry my younger daughter? So what is the problem, right? People do the Chaim, and they say, maybe it's a good idea. Yossi, do we mind? Yossi, okay. So, okay. Father say, we marry. So that's the prohibition of the bread, right? Meaning that's why Chazal said it is forbidden to eat.
But both breads are kosher.
1 second.
One is...
No, 1 second. If you let me answer. I didn't finish. Please.
Sorry.
No problem. Okay, so our sages say, okay, they have a great vision. We say you start eating their food, you're going to get together and party together, and you're over. The Jewish nation is over, right? But this OU bread, it's not baked by like an individual baker that he would do the dough like manual, like only then. No, right? You're never going to meet this individual baker. What they do, it's like a process, like conveyor, right? In a factory. Like there is no man, maybe like he would come and supervise it. It's not flour, enough water and stuff like that. That's it. Watch the computer, watch the cameras. So in this case, since all of the ingredients that go there are kosher, and they're supervised by OU, Orthodox Union of United States, no problem. So you can eat. Is it the best bread to eat? Not. But is it kosher? 100%. That's the answer. Go ahead. Next question.
So on Shabbat, what is the best bread to eat? I guess pasta Israel.
I mean, if it's possible for the best bread to eat, as we learn in our different class, laws of Shabbos, we said if woman can bake the bread, it would be the best. But if she cannot, so you can buy the bread. Any kosher bread is good. The best, of course, to bake your own bread. So why? I mean, if somebody have like a time, so because you show the respect of Shabbat, that I do everything manually. Like you can buy. I give you a different example. You can buy this what is it on Hanukkah especially, right? You have I buy this capsules with the oil, right? Like you just break the capsule and then you light and everything like nice and clean and done. But I also just say no, get dirty, get your hands dirty. Like put the cap. Pour the oil, make the wick, or buy the wick and put the wick in. So do more. So it shows that you care about the mitzvah. Show that you have a love for the mitzvah. That's what it is. So when people do not care, they try to get rid of things as soon as possible. Okay, that's the thing. So one more time, OU bread or K bread or like all different kind of breads, they're kosher. If you need to verify some kashrut symbols, you can send it to me. I can tell you. It's a long story. Okay, but that's the reason. So if it's kosher stamp, meaning that not kosher ingredients. That's what it means, and it's made by a machine. Okay, so you're not going to go to the factory and marry who? The manager? Okay. So that's the thing. Okay. Any other questions before we continue? Go ahead.
Rabbi.
Yes.
I have a question. So, would you say that if it's possible to keep halav Yisrael and patz Yisrael one of the highest kosher food consumption? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
If you can, it's possible.
Okay. So here's the thing. So about Pas Israel. Pas Israel bread baked by a Jew. So if you're a Jew, your wife bakes bread. So it is Pas Israel. So you don't have to overpay. So if you bake at home, there is no problem. That's already Pas Israel. Especially when you live in a place where it's not so easy to get. Right. So nuts like if you away like a little to the side from the main Jewish community. I mean, I don't know. Usually a Jew should not live outside of Jewish community. Like, why would you live? So you for example, we went to Florida like many years ago, and we went to a super. Of course, we would not buy like fresh meat. Like we were on vacation, nobody would do that. But we saw the prices. So the prices, like in Florida, maybe 30% or 40% more than we pay here, and it was not as fresh. What do we pay? Just and I don't know, it was that supermarket or different, I don't know, we pay much less for a better quality. Okay, so it's better to, like, it's proper for you to use to live in a Jewish community, so you have access to the food. Then if you have a Orthodox community, of course, the many products would be the skemech yashan, meaning the old flour, if you want. Again, not strictly required, but if you want. Same with Halaf Israel, right? Halaf Israel. Some say it's some people very like, they push in this Halaf Israel. It's like especially Chabad, right? If you don't don't drink Halaf Israel, it's like you're almost like idol worshippers, right? So a little overboard, right? Which is not true. Okay. But on another hand, when we tell them about the wigs that they're from Avodah Zarah, they say it's not a problem. Milk it's like they're not going to sit with, oh, you don't eat drink halaf Israel. It's like, oh, what are you, Jewish? You understand? Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Next question, please.
Yes, Rabbi. Thank you. So funny. I was asking about. I'm a little confused about if people eat. So I noticed some people eat pizza and they don't wash their hands. Like they say that that's not bread. Like I don't understand. Like I was told that you have to wash, and I read that you have to wash. Can you explain that if it's okay? I don't know.
Yes, yeah. That's okay. That's perfect. It's I think it's very important. One of the important questions that I think we discussed recently, but I'm going to repeat for people who did not hear, because it's very fundamental question. So the question is, pizza is bread or not bread? So and why would somebody, as you said, like would in their right mind to say that it's not bread? On another hand, I give you a different example. So we have to compare example. If you ever flew like in international, right, like somewhere like more than 6-hour flight, I think, they would give you food, right? And of course, you when you buy the ticket, or after you bought the ticket, you can specify the special requirements, the dietary requirements. So you want a kosher food. Okay, they bring you a tray, like all packaged, ever warm, so they warm together with a tray, like a double seal, all kosher. And in this kosher food, right, in this kosher tray, it's going to be like a roll, dinner roll, right? Well, that's it's usually they serve like at night, and it says mizoines. So of course I knew it cannot be mizoines. It cannot be mizoines, right? And so what we did, like few times, like we took results, we did not eat. It's 100% bread. And when we went to a hotel, it was I think we flew to Israel, right? And in the hotel I said, let's try this bread. We washed their hands. It's 100% bread. So why did they say mizones? Because people are too lazy. They're not, or lazy. It's not convenient to go and wash their hands. So maybe they put a few drops of this apple juice or whatever, and they say it is not, now it's mizones. You understand? So I'm going to tell the story about it. One second. So let me finish. So same with pizza. We said, I think, what is it? I apologize. I'm confused in what class we said. So it says that, it's in the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, right? On Tuesday we said, what is the there are 3 definitions of mizones. What is the definition? One of I'm going to skip whatever not relevant. The one definition Shulchan Aruch says when you mix it with a lot of fruit juice. What is it? A lot? It's majority fruit juice. Meaning when you eat this pizza, you must taste apple juice or orange juice or some juice, right? Or it must be like in eggs, like mixed with eggs. So of course pizza is not made this way. So and you see people who go there. So just watch who people go there. So Haredi people usually do not go there. I mean, unless they're on the border to go to the different side, because it's a simple scam. So, but people who go there, so how they rationalize, it's not a meal. So they say one slice, okay, so they found the leniency, they made up leniency. So it's not a meal. So what does it mean? I'm going to eat only one slice. It's not a snack. So it's not actual bread, it's a snack. Is it true? It's not true. So after this snack, so for example, I am hungry, right? But the dinner is like an hour away. So I'm going to use banana, or I'm going to use eat apple or cookies. So this cookie is a snack, 100%. I'm going to eat my dinner. It's just not to feel hungry for now. You understand? So that's snack. But who ate dinner after pizza? Nobody. You understand? So only people who, like, I don't want to blame. Okay, because they're confused. People want to be confused, and they follow rabbis who confuse them even more. You understand? If it is the blame of the rabbi, I don't think so. I mean, he's a clown, and they want to go to the circus, and they meet somewhere in the middle. You understand? And they go and they say that pizza is misogynist. 100% hamotzi. 100% hamotzi. 100. You understand? And we wash even on half a slice. And even if you have a bread, right? You have a challah board, right? You have you cut your challah on Shabbos, right? And you have few crumbs. And now, of course, you don't want to throw these crumbs, and you want to eat crumbs left over. What do you have to do? You have to go wash your hands, right? Of course, you don't say blessing, of course not, and you say hamotzi on these crumbs, on crumbs, so that you don't say on a pizza who satisfy you. Okay, so did we answer the question?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Rabbi. Thank you.
Yeah, and I have a story. Okay, Alex, please go ahead. Sorry.
Rabbi, sorry, one more question about, let's say if I eat a lot of cookies and I say mezonot on the cookies.
No, you have to, Alex, you have to join us, please, for a Tuesday class. That's what exactly was our topic on Tuesday. Baruch HaShem. So, but I'm going to answer your question. On Tuesday, that's what we said. So if you're going to eat foods that are from a bread family. So what is a bread family? All of the cakes from bread family. So something that was baked, right? All of the cookies from the bread family. All of the crackers from the bread family. All of the pies, like cherry pies, apple pies, it's all from the bread family. And it says that if you're going to eat amount, I give a few opinions. So amount in a weight. So we said it's 4 eggs. 4 eggs in biblical terms. So 4 eggs, it's for us approximately 8 ounces. So if you're going to eat 8 ounces, right? So of this cake, and it's not a lot, right? I'm not sure how. It depends how heavy is the cake. So of course it's 100% bread meal. So if you know that that's all you're going to eat, you go wash your hands, say hamotzi, and eat this bread and do birchas hamazon. Or there is another opinion. They say whatever people in that country. Could you put yourself on mute while you're not talking, please? Whoever is okay. Thank you. Please put yourself on mute. So, and that people in that country in that age category eat. For example, if a person is 80 years old, he's not going to eat as much as a 40 years old guy, right? Or 15 years old. So, in that country, in that age category. So, if they would eat such a amount of bread for a meal, so whatever he eats, so even less than 8 ounces, it's going to be 100% meal, and he has to say birchas hamazon, right? Or the third opinion was even stricter. Moshe Feinstein said people don't usually eat these 8 ounces. What they use, how much bread they eat, maybe a slice or 2 slices during the meal, and they and plus all of the accompanying food like salad, soup, chicken, fish, whatever other things. You understand? So he said it could be even less. So misogynist food, 100%. You say birchas hamazon. You have to be careful. Eat it with bread, or don't eat it misogynist during the meal, like after meal, or eat it less than 2 ounces, let's say. Few crackers. You eat soup with few crackers, no problem. Okay, go ahead, please. Go ahead, Alex.
Oh, sorry. No, thank you, Rabbi. Thank you for
Okay,
answering.
so about this pizza, I just remember this story. So it was back in Ukraine. It was poor Yosela, right? Poor Jew, and he could not, very, very poor, could not make ends meet, right? And Christian was trying, always trying to convert him, right? He give him money, this and that. So he was just pushing back, but all Jews were poor. and could not help him, right? So one time he said, that's it, it's enough. He came to the Pope and said, look, you asked me, like a priest, right? To the priest and say, oh, you want me to convert? You know what? I'm ready to convert. Just give me money, whatever you promise. I'm ready to convert. And this Pope said, look, Yosele, I work on you for that 10 years, and you are so strong in your beliefs, and you send me to this mother, that mother, and now you wanted to convert. Something is fishy here. I know you Jews. I know you. I know you. You want to just take money from our holy Christians and you want to run away. I know you Jews, right? And he said, look, I am willing to give you money, but I'm going to test you. So if I come on Friday night, and I see you drinking wine, and I see the fish on your table, this gefilte fish that you Jews eat, that's it. I'm going to kill you, Yosele. It's not a serious business. Okay, Yosele says, okay. Priest, whatever you say, just give me money, and my family is struggling, give me money. So okay. So Yosele took the money, spent the money, paid the debts, everything is good. And Friday night comes, and a priest comes to the window and see this Yosele with a cup of wine, with a fish on the table, like he stormed into, like he's going crazy. What he said, you normal? You know, I told you not to eat fish. You promised. He said, fish? What fish? Wine? What wine? It's not wine. It's a water. Right? It's not fish. It's a chicken. And this Christian get like even more crazy. What do you mean? What do you mean? What chicken? It's a fish. I see the whole fish. He said, no, you don't understand. I took the holy water. You remember you gave me the holy water in the church. So I sprinkle on this fish and say, you not fish, you chicken. I sprinkle on this wine, sprinkle on the and said, you not wine, you water. You understand? So they do this focus. They think that they sprinkle a little and they change the things. Same with Mizoynes. It's Hamotzi 100%. Okay. Any other questions or we continue? Okay.
I have a question, Rabbi.
Yeah, go ahead,
Sorry.
please. No problem. Okay, go ahead.
Just curious. So if I eat some like one of those floured tortillas, like if I eat, let's say, I don't know, if I eat like 4 of them, will that be considered also bread and I will need to do the bracha?
One of the best money investment that I would suggest, that does not cost a lot, especially if you live in US, approximately $10. You have to buy yourself scales. The scales for bakers, or you can use in the kitchen for everything. And weight these cookies or these tortillas or whatever, and see how much they weigh. I would not know. It depends on the weight. And what I want to tell you that the custom is that we like in the custom of the most people that we actually don't count like dough separately and the cream or like filling separately. We count everything together. Even it's you did not eat the full kizayas. Kizayas means it's 1 ounce, right? To say the after blessing. But we count all of them together with the filling. Okay, so to be on the safe side, you just eat a little more or less, but you have to wait on the scales. I would not know. There is no way for me to know. Even like if you say how much is the bread, I need to eat to 1 ounce. Depends on the bread. Like half a slice for normal bread, like not a puffy bread. So you half a slice, it should be enough for 1 ounce approximately. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi.
Yeah, so please, I urge everybody buy these scales. Whatever, I'm not like whatever scales you buy, I think they're all good. But it's $10, $12 tops, and saves you all of the headaches. And plus, women can use it on the kitchen to weigh the things. Okay. Any other questions, or we continue? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yes. So let's say, okay, just to be on the safer side, let's say if you're at home and you want to eat, I don't know, like a tortilla, and when you eat at home, you eat a little bit more. Should you just say the bracha, eat some bread with it just to be on the safer side? And also, let's say if you just want to eat the tortilla as a snack, just say mezoines because it's not that much, like 1 or 2 tortillas.
I apologize. I didn't remind me that tortillas is I think we said it's from what is it?
Corn,
From
like
corn
tacos.
flour, right?
Yes, corn flour and also flour, rice flour.
So there is it's corn flour has nothing to do with mizonos. Corn flour is always shechakol. Unless you tell me otherwise, unless you tell me that one of the ingredients there is wheat flour. So just so we know, so if it's like under I don't know, like 2 or 3% of the ingredients, they're not obligated to include it in ingredients. So and even if you would have this wheat flour or rye flour less than 3%, so it would not change the blessing. It's like it's insignificant because you cannot even taste it, right? So it would stay shechakol. So not from these 5 grains, it's shechakol. Okay. Go ahead. What else? Got it? Any other questions before we continue, please? Okay, no problem. So let's continue a little. So we start a new section number 2. And it says the prohibition of eating non-kosher food. Okay. A punishable transgression. So some transgression punishable, some of them not punishable. According to Torah law, one who eats non-kosher food is liable for punishment or sacrificial atonement only in the following conditions are met. Shiur, a requirement amount. Number 1, shiur. Okay, so first condition, required amount. The Torah does not subject one to the physical punishment and requires no sacrificial atonement if one eats less than kizayas. Okay, so in parentheses it says olive or a half egg volume, somewhat more than 1 fluid ounce. We say 1 fluid ounce, 28 grams. Of the prohibited food, or one drinks less than revi'is. Revi'is somewhat more than 3 fluid ounces of the prohibited liquids. Okay, so let's stop here and explain. So first we said that in order to say the blessing after the food, we have to eat a certain amount. What is a certain amount? The minimum amount that satiates a person. So if he or she eats less than this amount, it's not considered to be satiating according to our Chazal. What is it? It's a kizayis. It's this 1 ounce, 28 grams, whatever is good for you. Right? Even though in olden days it says, like in Talmudic day, it says olives. So today we don't have, like, even you buy the jumbo, like super jumbo olives, they say still not 1 ounce. Like, I don't know how big they are. The biggest, right? And they're still not 1 egg, like not half of the egg. Of course not, right? But we go by today's measure, where what our sages said. And so, yeah.
One rabbi told me that if it's the size of your hand, not the fingers, the hand, that's how much it should be enough to say a bracha. Is that true?
I mean, it's a general statement that I don't know. So as we just explained, you have to weigh the thing. Like some bread, they're like very heavy, and some breads are very light. So how can you say that? Right. So in 1 cup you have heavy grains, and in another you have like puffy things. So how can you even the volume is the same, but you it's the measurement is different. So we don't measure like this. But in general, maybe like in general, but it's not true. I mean, we don't go by these approximations. Okay, go ahead.
No, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So so the minimum amount of satiation, we said this 1 ounce, 28 grams, kizayis, right? And for the drinks, for a beverage, we said it's revi'is. So what is revi'is? So just so we know, we are all of the opinions. This kizayis The most like lenient opinion is, I think it's 0.6 ounce, and the most strict it's 1.2 ounces. So we go by, I don't remember whose opinion was it, but we chose long time ago. So it's 28 grams. That's what we stick to. Okay. And same with revis. Revis a minimum 3.1 ounces, right? It's like in grams, it's 86 and 90 grams, whatever is it, right? And from this amount, and Hazanish says it's actually like it's almost 5 ounces, like almost double, 5.1 ounce, 5.2 ounces. It's like if you go in grams, it's like 150 grams. So it's from 90 grams to grams or cc, the same thing, or to 150. It's a huge difference, right? So, and they say for drinking, that's what the measure we use. And same shiur. Shiur is a measure. So we have shiur Torah. It's like also the measure of the Torah. Like same with prohibited foods. So in order to get malchus and in order to get lashed or other punishment, whatever sages prescribe or Torah prescribed, you have to eat this amount of food, right? For a in a period of time 2 to 3 up to 9 minutes. So there is a certain opinion up to 9 minutes. So, but if you ate, and not you, somebody ate a piece of pork, right? And it was less than kizais, just okay, less than this ounce, like half an ounce, right? So he's not going to get this punishment. Is it allowed? Absolutely not. Is it? He's going to get punished by earthly court? Not. Or a person like did in tiny pieces every 9 minutes. Let's say he knew the opinions. Every 9 minutes he would say eat less than kizais. So again, there is no punishment, but HaShem is going to get to that person. Don't worry about it. And same with this drinking all of these forbidden drinks. So he has to like drink enough, like all of these forbidden drinks, like the 3.1 ounce. Okay, at least. Okay, so that's the measurement. Any questions before we continue? So it is a measurement for satiation. And from satiation, so only when person derives pleasure, he's going to get this punishment. So again, is it like a minute amount of pig is allowed? Absolutely not. Pig or just simple not kosher chicken. So there is no problem. There is no difference. There is no difference between non-kosher chicken and pig. No problem. No difference whatsoever. Okay. So continue. So number 2, the time span of eating. Okay, so we'll explain, but doesn't matter. Similarly, the Torah inflicts. So it's second condition here. Similarly, the Torah inflicts no punishment and requires no sacrificial atonement unless one eats prohibited foods within a span of time constitutes one act of eating. Sinaitic tradition has defined this to be amount of the time necessary to eat wheat bread that has the value of 3 or 4 eggs. Okay, that's why we have this difference, right? 3 or 4 eggs while sitting in the most comfortable manner. Okay, and this is called kidei achilas pras. So meaning the time that you need to eat this bread. And in olden days, just to remind us, people were so poor. So most of the foods were consisted of bread. That's it. So people ate bread and that's it. They would drink water, and that was like main meal, right? So how much time it takes to eat 3 or 4 volume eggs of bread, but when you're not in a rush, you're comfortable position. So that's how we get this 2 to 3 minutes. Just so you know, okay. Halachic authorities assume that this approximately 4. Okay, so they say we said 3 to 4. Okay, they say 4, or perhaps as much as 9 minutes. Okay, very similar. So 9 minutes is like don't rely on this 9 minutes unless it's very necessary. Okay. Similarly, let me finish. Sorry. Similarly, drinking revis, meaning right, must be completed in a time span normally required to drink a revi. Okay, so let's understand. Let's finish and let's try to understand. One does not conclude eating or drinking if one who does not conclude eating or drinking within the prescribed time is not liable for punishment, as we already said, and is not sacrificial atonement, even though he violated the Torah law. So the Torah law was violated? Yes, 100% violated. Does he need to bring the sacrifice? No. Because why? He did not eat, or she did not eat or drink in this period of time. And about drinking, it does not say here. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe he's going to say, maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So let me tell you now. So there is different opinions about drinking. How much in what time span you have to drink? You have to drink these 3 ounces. Let's say I'm going by the minimum amount to be like to minimum, right? 3.1 ounces, right? So some say that you have to finish them. It's like in a few sips. It's not a lot. It's possible, but usually people don't do that. So I mean, if it's a hot beverage, if it's hot coffee, you're not going to drink that much in the 2 to 3, 4 sips. Usually not, right? But there is another opinion, also very strong opinion, that actually the definition of time spent for drinking is the same as for eating, meaning for 2 to 3 minutes. Up to 9 minutes. So we actually rely on that opinion also. Okay, somebody wanted to ask questions? Go ahead, please. No? Okay, I thought I heard the noise. I think... okay, so I think we can stop here and to be continued next time. Any questions on any topic now? Go ahead. Anyone? Okay, go ahead, please.
Rabbi, so that thing where you said about the drinking during a certain time frame. So let's say, I don't know, I think most people, sometimes we bring water with us in the car, and we have to say a blessing before we drink the water. And then the after blessing, how do I put this? When we should say it after we finish drinking the bottle of water, or should we say it after, I don't know, maybe you forgot in the car or something? I don't know, how does that work? I don't know if you understand me.
Yes, yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly clear. Thank you. So let's say, right, the person went to his car in the morning, put the bottle of water, and he's drinking, he's driving around, and even like he has few stops, he goes out to the bathroom, even comes back, bought stuff, and continue driving, let's say on a road trip. So this bottle of water, it's covered, right? It's not considered that he changed his location, right? When you go from your house to the street and you cross the street, it is a change of location. But in your car and you have intention to come back, it's not change of location. So the question is if you're allowed to say the after blessing. Let's say your road trip was 3 hours. Let's say, right, and all of the 3 hours you were drinking this bottle of water. So let's say you drink every 10 minutes, little sip. So the question is if you drank it, in this 9 minutes. So we're going by the lenient. This 3.1 ounce. So if you drank only small sips, you're not most likely that you did not drink. So even though you finished the whole bottle, but because of the time span, because of 3 hours, so you would not need to say any blessing. And not only you're not allowed to say any blessing. And if person says the blessing just in case, it's going to be blessing in vain. So we have to be very careful. So what I would suggest, if you want to say the blessing, so make one big drink, what is it, 3 ounce, I don't know how much is in the bottle, like this, for example, in a period of 9 minutes, and that's it. And you can say after blessing, and you can say after blessing after you finish. Okay. Any other questions?
So Rabbi, oh my bad, sorry. So let's say in the morning, so let's say, I think most people, they cover their coffee, but you know those lids that some coffees have that they have like the opening space in the hole so you're able to sip on it?
Okay.
Is that considered covered technically or no?
Covered? You mean you're talking about covered drinks? This dangerous of uncovering drinks? That's what you're saying, or no?
You know when you're drinking coffee, like some plastic cups, they have
Yes,
like this cover.
I understand, but what is the purpose of your question? I don't understand. Okay, I understand. So
Like since you're moving place to place, right? Correct. Is that considered? Because you said something that it's supposed to be like when you go from place to place, since the bottle of water is covered, it's not like you moved anywhere, correct?
I apologize. When I say covered, I mean the cover, like the blessing is going to cover the whole bottle of water that you drank during these three hours. That's what I meant. Sorry, I was not clear.
Okay. Thank you.
So next question. Go ahead. Okay.
Hello, Rabbi. So, if somebody said the blessing over water in maybe the same car, and then unfortunately he forgets to say the blessing, for half an hour, and then now when he comes back to drink the water, what should the person do? Should he say over the blessing, or is it still covered?
Okay, so it's good question. So let me describe for you two scenarios. Okay, so the first scenario that he does not remember if he said the blessing or not. So that's what let's start with easier. The straightforward, easiest scenario. If he remember, I did not say the blessing. How do I know? I was on the phone with somebody, and somebody was telling me something, and I without thinking, I start drinking water. So that's how I know I did not say the blessing. That's the easy scenario. So after you realize, before taking next sip, you have to say the blessing, 100%. That's it. So you're not allowed to drink unless you say the blessing. Different issue. That's second scenario would be, I don't remember. Did I say blessing? I did not. For whatever reason, person I don't know, does not remember. So it's very interesting thing, right? So you're not allowed to continue drinking because maybe you did not say blessing. So it's like stealing from HaShem. Clearly, our Chazal say, if you eat without or drink without the blessing, you're stealing from HaShem directly. You're the thief from HaShem, right? So that's not a good place to be. Right, and I cannot say another blessing. Why? Because if I already said the blessing, so this blessing would be blessing in vain. So it's actually the Torah commandment, right, out of 10. So not to carry Hashem's name in vain. So you're in a difficult situation. So our Chazal said what you should do, it's one of the solutions, make a blessing on something else. Like whatever it would have the same blessing. For example, you're talking about water, you forgot, you have a piece of candy, right? Or you have a chewing gum. So say this blessing on a piece of candy, piece of chocolate, whatever, it's same shechakol, and keep in mind, I want only also covered water if it was not covered. So if it was not covered, let it be covered. If it was covered, I'm just eating a piece of chocolate. That's it. Okay. So we have a few.
Yes,
yeah.
Is there a time limit that the blessing is covered for when you say shakol in the water? Is there a specific time that you can drink and then it doesn't? Or
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's a good question. So there are a few scenarios. Of course, I'm going only in summary. For this, you have to, and we're working on it. Very hard, our beautiful team. We're trying to build a channel, a YouTube channel where we're going to cover, we said everything, whatever we say now, it was said before in all of the details, and we're trying to create these pieces of Halachah, to the bottom. Like you type the question now, YouTube channel, you get the answer. But to give you this answer, only a summary, because it's a long topic. So if you made a blessing, for example, and you in your car, right, and you just go for a few minutes out. Let's say you went to fill with the gas, right? It does not consider interruption. You went to the bathroom, stop area, you come back. It's not considered interruption. So this blessing on the water covered as long as you drink it. Like how long? I mean, if you continue drinking periodically, that's covered. I understand, but for example, if you ate like a drink, like a snack, you ate banana. So are you filled with banana? Most people don't, but at least you ate, right? You ate something, you're not as hungry as before. So in these cases, outside you say you have 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes to say the blessing. Max 30 minutes. If you feel like you ate a lot, for example, we're not talking about the bread. You ate a salad, you ate the soup, this and that without bread, so you satiated, right? You satiated, so until the next time you feel hungry. So it depends on how much you ate. So maybe for the next 2 hours you're not hungry, maybe. So up to that time you can say the after blessing. And with bread, they say it's bread is more like satiating, right? And same with mizone, so they give us 72 minutes, or right, 72 minutes is minimum, right? And plus, and if you ate a lot, for some people go to the wedding, they eat so much, or they cannot breathe, they can say blessing 5 hours later because they're so stuffed. Is it healthy? It's not healthy, but that's what people do. But otherwise, by default, minimum 30 minutes for snacks, like you didn't get satiated, and 72 minutes for bread, and or until you get hungry. Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Of course, I given you only the summary, so we covered it in a different class, but for now, I think it should be fine. It's enough, but keep asking questions, so I think other people are going to benefit as well. Okay, I see the two raised hands. Go ahead. Who was first? I don't remember. Okay, yeah, go ahead, please.
Sorry, quick question. Let's say a person sleeps at night and he wakes up in the middle of the night and he wants to drink water. The cup is next to him, obviously covered. Does he have to say blessing? And if he does he have to get dressed, get up, put a kippah on, and say the blessing? Okay, so the question is, what is the prerequisite for a blessing? So okay, so to answer your question, yes, he must cover his head. I say must. It's very, very proper. But if after the fact, if person say blessing without covering his head, after the fact there is the blessing is still valid and he can still drink the water. Does he has to dress up? No. So if his private parts are covered, like if his trunks, there is no problem whatsoever. He can say the blessing. Is it proper to put the bed sheet on top or a blanket? Yeah, it would be proper, but again, halakhically speaking, not strictly necessary. But can he say the blessing like half sitting, or yes?
Yes, half sitting. Yes, absolutely. There is no problem. No problem, sir.
Okay.
No problem.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Okay, and another just quickly, I would just want to add. So and just make sure that you're not facing your wife, right? So it's so if you like facing the wall, that there is no problem. So when prerequisites for saying the blessing for a nakedness defines differently for men and women, and with one gender and different genders. So that's a different story. Okay, next question, please. Go ahead, please.
Rabbi, I have a question. I have experienced this where I've gone on a trip in another country, and my husband and I, we have lunch, which is like a sandwich or something that has bread. We do have a bottle of water, but there's no running sink where we can go and wash our hands to do the bracha. In that case, is it okay not to have a running sink with water, and we can just use the bottle of water to do, to wash our hands, to do the mitzvah? Okay. Or how do we do it?
Okay, how we do it. So let me give you the best scenario. The best is very simple. if it's your car, like you're traveling in your car, so bring the gallon of water with you from a tap water, and bring the cup with you wherever you wash. That's very simple, and there is all of the problems over, right? There is no questions whatsoever. That's what I would do if I would go to such a trip. So I mean, when you prepare the sandwiches for a road, so the next you always predict that the next thing you have to wash your hands. That's the best case scenario. But let's say you got stuck, this and that. There is not such a water. The problem with there is a problem with the bottle of water because it's the neck is very narrow, right? That's the issue. So if you so it's a second problem, right? Okay. So what you can do if you have a sink. So the question was about the sink. So if you don't have a cup but you have a sink, so it's possible. So let's say I want to wash my right hand, so I open the sink once and close. Second time and close, right? And then the same on the left hand, open and close, open and close. Why do I have to open and close? Why I cannot use a stream? Because it says clearly the water for nitalas yadayim has to come through the human force. So when you use a cup, 100 human force. Right, when you open the faucet was open. This first 2 second water was flown by the human force. When it after a few seconds, that's it. It's because of the pressure in the system. It has nothing to do with you force. So when you close, open again. That's what we do, and the same we do on the left hand. Okay, that's the solution. So, but somebody asked yesterday if you don't have water at all. So then you cover your hands with plastic bags or something, and you don't touch food completely. So you eat with a fork and knife.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, but proper to plan ahead. That's why HaShem gave us brain. So plan ahead, bring yourself a gallon of water. Like you have a car, so just put it there. Have a cup. Buy yourself a cheaper cup. That's what I suggest. Some people they always travel and buy in Judaica simple cup for washing, $2-3. Okay, how can you go wrong with $3? Leave it in a car, no problem. Let it stay there forever, and you're going to use it for sure. Okay. What else? Anyone? Any questions? Any topic? Go ahead.
About the Shabbos key, can you interconnect a key between a necklace?
Okay, so that's a good question. So let me explain the question what he's asking. So we'll be all us on the same page. So in a case in an area when there is no Eruv, and one of the Torah nights prohibition on Shabbos, you're not allowed to carry what? Nothing, right? So what you're allowed to do, like clothing, right? It's not considered a carrying. It's allowed. Some things that prevent your dignity, right? So save you from elements, which is clothing and other things, and something something that you need for medical needs, to cover dressings to cover your wound or something. That's also, it's not considered be carrying, like a bandage or something, right? Even though it's foreign item, it's not part of the clothing, but it would be say that to cover the wound, no problem. And the third category is some decoration. So if some decoration. So for it's easier to say for a woman, right? Because women they do wear necklaces even on a weekday, and if she would get new necklace, most probably she's going to wear. But if she's going to wear with a key in there, with this ugly key that from the pocket, I don't know. I don't think so, right? And men usually don't wear the necklaces. So it's not, so you cannot put like we used to when we used to be a kid, so and not to lose the key. So the parents would put on a piece of a ribbon or something and put you on your neck, like make it shorter, so to make sure that you don't lose the key, right? Especially in the summer when had summer vacation. Yeah, you understand? So that's 100% carrying. 100% would not be allowed. But what people do, they maybe I take my belt. 1 second. So here's my belt, right? So what they do, they cut the belt like in the middle, somewhere. I mean, in any place they want, and they insert 2 rings, and between these 2 rings they put a key. So technically this key is needed, so the belt would function. Otherwise, without the key in the middle, the whole belt is going to fall off. You understand? So when you insert like the key like this, yeah, it's for some need. You understand? Or some people do like tie clip with a belt. But today people don't usually do that. Why? One of the explanations, we have a digital key, digital locks, and it's like mechanical digital locks. So and where we live, it's very not expensive. Are they reliable? I don't know. Don't ask me if they're reliable, but at least like a second lock, you can use it for Shabbos for sure. So it's like you press the buttons and that's it. That's what people do. Or they have a third option, what we use. We don't have this digital lock, but we have this padlock like as a storage. So also with the wheels, like numbers, you like 4-digit or 5-digit number, and you put it somewhere on a metal pole or something, and you hide your key in there. So that's the. But on a necklace, it's not going to. For women, even for women would not wear this. Okay.
So only women are allowed to use in between a necklace?
Yeah, men usually don't wear men usually don't use the jewelry, unless some people would use. I saw like not religious one, but on the mountain side they would use like the bracelet or chain, or I don't know, like small, like I don't know. I don't look at the women, but usually on Shabbos it's proper to wear tie. Like so if it's behind, like it's on your body, it's for sure. It's not for decorative purposes. Like it's hidden. Women they would the like necklace like on top of the dress. That's for sure for decoration, but for men for sure it's not. So that's the issue.
So in a necktie, would we allowed to use the same method? If
as I said, if you would use it like a tie clip. So if somebody wants to research tie clip for Shabbos, yeah, that's what they use. Like they make like a tie clip. Again, if you don't have a vest like me, it's not going to like work with me, and I tell you why, right? Because the tie clip, the purpose of the tie clip to keep tie in one place without going back and forth. So I have this vest, so this vest keeps the tie in place. So in my case, it's out of the question. So it must be like for decorative purposes or practical purposes, like I show on a belt. You cut the belt in the middle, put two rings. Right, between these 2 rings, you put the key. So key, join the belt together. That would be kosher option. And if you want, again, what I said, you can go and type on Google Shabbos belt, and you're going to get results. You're going to see of course they sell these things. I mean, I just show how to make it cheaper, like by yourself, but they sell these things in the store. Okay.
The last thing for me is about Eretz Israel. Is only the carrying prohibition for outside Eretz Israel?
About what? I didn't get. About Eretz Israel what?
Carrying. It's only in diaspora.
Carrying? No, it's everywhere. Why you say no? It's everywhere.
Because they make Eruv, and I understood it's like making private the area.
Yeah, but private. I mean, no. You can do private. I mean, you can do Eruv almost anywhere if it's according to some halakhic, the special halakhic definitions. So it must be like not too many people go through that area. Like in capital cities or big countries, it's not going to work. So what? So I mean, if it's on the main street or next to main street, it's not going to work. Like even where I live, so Moshe Feinstein Zatzal was against it. So he against it. So and since then the population increased. So me personally, I don't care. Never.
Because I understand or I conceive Eretz Israel as being between an Eruv, but I'm
No. It's not true. They in every city they have to build their own Eruv, or in every location neighborhood they can build their own Eruv. But it's not by default. It's all covered. It's not true. Okay. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, so no questions, so we can stop here. HaShem, so it was a successful week. So whoever did not join for all of the classes, so you see how much you missed even 1 week. We're talking about mizonos, we're talking about character traits, how to fix them, right? And what is good, what is bad, how to approach your character, right? It's like a must. So please join us for all of the classes. All the best. Good Shabbos, and until next week. Beezrat HaShem. Thank you. Good night.
Good job.